P-O-N-R, that's the point of no return. The master of the game, bitch, better wait your turn. They say I smoke too much, but I'm still finna let shit burn. Let shit burn, let shit burn. Bad bitch, she gon' do just what I please. Amen, the way she dropped down to her knees. Magician shit, couple tricks on my sleeve. Magician shit, couple tricks.
Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome back to J is for Justice. I am Jay, your host, and I am a partner with YouTube again. The lounge is open, and I'm loving seeing all of you guys back in green where you belong. Thank you so much. Hi, Lizzie Bones. I haven't seen you in forever.
The devil
is dancing tonight. I am ecstatic. Ecstatic. I am so relieved. Things were getting a little hairy for me. I was like, eek, what am I going to do? But we're back. And thank you guys so much for being here and sticking with me. And I just want to let you guys know that all of you that have joined the Patreon is still going to be different than what's here. We're going to be able to do more our deep dives and talk about shiz that we don't talk about here publicly because we want to be able to keep our YouTube partner program. So the Tinfoil Lounge in Patreon is still open for business, and we're going to be good to go there. So let's get our chat box a little bit smaller. Thank you guys for becoming members. Check it out. It's going nuts. Shit's bananas. This is for you, Lizzie. This shit is bananas. It is a great Monday. This is the greatest Monday ever. Potato, Marie Arnold, and Angie B, Allison BD all became members again.
Or is it a cigar?
So I've changed things up a little bit with the alerts and stuff, but I still have to get it up to speed. But I did as much as I could before we went live. And I want to apologize for the delay. My neighbor came over with some 4th of July novelties for the grand. Headband with stars and star sunglasses, all kinds of cool stuff. So good morning. It is a great day in J-Land. If you guys could get the membership link up in chat, we've got several tiers for you guys. The cheapest I think is $2.99, and if you want to be awesome, you could, be the top tier, or you can pick whatever one you want. But I see that we have Jammer's son's birthday today. How old is your son, Jammers? How old is your son, Jammers? Because we're going to go over and we're going to sing happy birthday to Jammer's son before we get started on our stream today.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
Happiest of birthdays. Just Joe became a member of Jay's Seekers. 19 years old? Oh my God. Jammers, you're officially getting old. I'm just kidding. Yay, Just Joe. What up? Good morning. This Tough Tiff. Hey, she's one of my biggest supporters, Tough Tiff. Yay! We're so excited. We're so excited. We are back in the game. We are back in the game, and we are not going to get out of the game again because we have an auditor. We have an auditor. So a portion of my monthly income is going to go to my auditor to make sure every month she's going to keep an eye on my streams and make sure that they all are good. All my tags are good. All that shiz. So when you become a member, you are also helping keep the channel alive and up to speed with the requirements. You're not old, Jammers. You're beautiful. But today we're going to be talking about the ABC podcast called The King Road Killings. This is available on Spotify, Apple, wherever you can watch or listen to a podcast. And I'm going to share what it looks like so that if you go and you try to find it, you can find it. They have done 4 episodes. Thank you, Patrick. Tough Tiff, can I ask a question about a person without getting in trouble? Yes, you may. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, so this is what the podcast looks like when you search it up. Just so you know. And they are talking to a lot of people. They're speaking with people that knew Bryan Kohberger, like students that went to college with him, people that went to school with him, and things like that. I love seeing green. All right, I am waiting for Tough Tiff's question. Thanks, Jammers. Whatever happened to Alligator? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Haven't seen her lately. I really don't know. Given the fallout, I don't know. But here, we've got 4th of July. Can you say happy 4th of July to everyone before we start? Okay. Say happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
All right, go play on your tablet. All right, so let's get into it. I know the boss is always behind me, okay? The boss keeps her eye on me. Don't tell anyone, but she's really my auditor. She's really my auditor. Hey, Combat Vet. That was rando, though, Tough Tiff. You just been wondering, huh? Yoicks. Hey, Dr. Melmo. Yeah, she's a good baby too. She really is. So she's with me for another day, and she's been so good. Dr. Melmo, it's PH. You always spell it wrong. It drives me nuts. All right, so let's talk about this podcast a little bit. You guys ready? Let's get into it. All right, so we're just going to be, I'm not going to play any of it. Yay, Paper Chaser. We're back in, buddy. We are back in, and we are aiming for 100K. All right? 100K is our next, it's our next goal. And once we get to 100K, it's everything's going to be changing. Everything's going to be changing. Good morning, Queen Virgo. Good to see you. It is, Paper Chaser. We're back in biz. We're back in biz. All right, so here's a few things that came out, and I just want to get your guys' thoughts. Let's just talk about some of the things that came out in episode 4. So here's one. According to BK's old boxing coach. Now, this is interesting. According to his old boxing coach, his dad brought him into the gym to get him out, to be more social and involved with other people. He was worried that BK didn't have many other opportunities to socialize or gain self-esteem. He did gain confidence and seemed to feel more accepted there, according to his old boxing coach. Queen Virgo quit her job. She said, take this job and shove it.
You know what I have to say to Ann C. Taylor, the defense lawyer?
Bring it on, woman. You saw a personalized license plate over the weekend, and it made me think of her. What was the personalized license plate? Hey, little Boston. Scallum. What's scallum mean? I've always wanted to ask that. Yeah, I hope you're okay, too. She said, take this job and shove that shiz. Good morning, Jessica. So that's according to the old boxing coach. So it kind of sounds like BK, like maybe Bryan Kohberger's neighbor wasn't lying when he said his dad came up to me and said, hey, he doesn't really have any friends. If you could like be nice to him. But it sounds like his dad put him in boxing to get him out of the house. So I don't know. Lisa, BK's dad gives me the creeps. Oh, your tribe. That's right. I always ask the same. I'm sorry. The dad calling the cops about the phone. What do you mean? What? Oh, the sister's phone?
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
Angie B gifted a membership. Just Samantha. Welcome. This shit's bananas. I need a soundbite of Lizzie Bones saying this is bananas. Hi, Laura B. Yay, Paper Chaser. He says, congrats, Jay. 100K, here we come. Woo! Then I'm going to have will I get a check mark like you, Paper Chaser? I wonder. Thank you so much. You guys, I am just ecstatic. I couldn't be in a better mood today. Okay, so Casey Arntz. We saw Casey Arntz in her videos that went viral on TikTok right after Kohberger was arrested. And she was interviewed again by ABC. Sorry. She was interviewed again by ABC. And one of the last things she said that he messaged her was that he would, quote, always love you guys, meaning their friend group, quote, even if we stop talking one day. So that's what he said to Casey. That was his last message to Casey Farts. Casey Farts, his old high school
So is that a
friend.
joint?
What's her name? Casey
Or is it a
Farts. Diana HB gifted a membership.
So is that a
Was
joint?
gifted a membership from Angie B. Thank you, Angie.
Or is
You
it a
are
cigar?
so generous. And Diana, welcome to the lounge. One-Eyed Flo, welcome to the lounge. This shit's bananas, you guys. YouTube just opened the floodgates for us. So he told Casey Arntz that he would always love you guys, meaning their friend group, and even if they stop talking one day. So that's another thing. A fellow PhD student of BK's was interviewed for the podcast, but she didn't want her name and voice used. What she said was confirmed by a second PhD student to the reporter. And this is that BK had a hard time fitting in. This is from a fellow PhD student, and it was backed up by a second one. He had a hard time fitting in. He was difficult and unpleasant to work with, was sometimes rude and condescending. I mean, all of this I can see, okay? He lacked respect for people's boundaries. Sophia, did Casey fart? Casey farts? Did Casey fart? She's laughing. So he lacked respect for people's boundaries. Good morning, Lavender. A few times he would get angry in class over minor issues. His face would turn bright red, and he would clench his fists until the knuckles turned white. BK repeatedly asked out and stared at another of his classmates. This made her so uncomfortable that the other students made sure they were never left alone together. Lisa says that sounds like her last job review. That was her last exit interview. The PhD students began tracking and writing down behavior of BK's that bothered them, especially disrespect towards female professors, like interrupting them, being late, or skipping their classes. This was actually had a name to it. This was referred to as the Bryan tally. The students were raising red flags and speaking to higher ups about him. This is big news, guys. This is big news. According to the Bryan tally, BK was missing from class the Monday after, hold on. Wait, let me get back to my notes. Hold up. Okay, according to the Bryan tally, BK was missing from class the Monday after the murders. Hello, J. Lord. BK would hold his office hours as a TA at unusual times, sometimes late in the evening. The PhD student interviewed started sticking around after students complained BK made them feel uncomfortable. Here, you can take this with you. You got your mouse? Okay. So the PhD student that was interviewed started sticking around after students complained BK made them feel uncomfortable while meeting with him. Thank you so much, Angie, again.
So
Lavender,
that joint?
congrats.
Or is it a cigar?
So BK would close the office door against protocol or place himself between the student and the exit. Creepy. The PhD student spoken with confirmed he was terminated as a TA, losing his tuition waiver, stipend, and medical insurance. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Asperger's? He's an Asperger, all right. Kohberger is an Asperger. I don't think he's got anything like that. I really want us to stay away from making murderers and psychotic killers part of a spectrum, because people on the spectrum don't murder. Okay, let's not even go there. We have nothing to back that up at all. As far as we know, this dude was from a young age an outcast. And he grew up to allegedly unalive 4 students, maybe more. So I just don't want to put him on any spectrum of just because you think he has autism because of the antisocial, but autistic people don't kill people. Okay? So we got to get away from that because we have no evidence of that. Now, if that comes out that he had some kind of, he's an Asperger, we know that, but if he has something, we have to wait for that to come out because it's just not fair to lump him in with autistic people. It's just not. So let's just, people with autism are actually very kind and very soft and very mild. Hey, Mikey J, I subbed under my son's account. Nice. So let's just be careful with that because as we know right now, he's just a psycho who didn't know how to communicate with people. And just because you don't know how to communicate doesn't mean you're autistic. It could mean you're just fucked in the head. I mean, I hate to say it. No. Samantha, it's okay. But a lot of people, we've gone through this with Chris Watts. And it was huge. It was like no one could fathom that Chris Watts could hurt his children or hurt his pregnant wife. There had to be a reason. And we're always looking for a reason. But I just think that we need to be careful with that. And just, Samantha, I appreciate you. And you are more than welcome to put your thoughts in. And I just think that I saw it with Chris Watts so much, and Potato can back me up on this one. It was like, Chris has got to be on the spectrum because he wouldn't do this. No, he did it. He did it because he was having an affair and he couldn't face his wife and tell her the truth. We really have to just be honest about what these people do. And when they're shitbags, we have to just say they're shitbags. But let's not make a shitbag an autistic or, something like that. Oh, Potato says, my daughter gets upset at flies being hurt. Exactly. Autistic kids and adults are not the ones that are unaliving birds and putting them in school bathrooms. They're not skinning dogs. They're not doing that kind of stuff. And I know it hurts people's feelings too that have, children that suffer from these conditions. And I think it just makes, we just really have to be careful. Okay? I love you, Samantha. And I'm glad you said that because it gave us an opportunity to talk about it. And that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about things. And there's the 8-ball. And I saw that someone from our chat here made fun of me on another person's comments about the 8-ball. They said that they only watch channels that use 8-ball for advice. And I couldn't help but get a little self-conscious about that. I like my 8-ball. All right, let's continue on with more BK news. So the last thing we talked about was the PhD student spoken with confirmed he was terminated as a TA. He lost his tuition waiver, stipend, and medical insurance. I wonder how much stipend he got. BK was arrested while he was running down the stairs towards his bedroom in the basement. Police believe he had been sorting trash as reported previously. So this came out on here too. BK was arrested while he was running down the stairs towards his bedroom in the basement. I have a magic 8-ball. Yeah, fuck yeah. So what do you guys think of that? That he was running down in the basement. Like, what? Hey, Briggs. So a woman also, here's another couple accounts. A woman also commented that her daughter worked at a cafe that BK frequented, and she saw him on several times a week. She said he was creepy. He was a creepy kind of guy. He would flirt with one of the other girls who worked there. After the murders, he was apparently much more talkative and friendly. She said he would make people uncomfortable on purpose and hold eye contact with women like he was challenging them. A woman who said BK kept asking her daughter personal questions and intensely staring at her when he was her TA. This freaked her out so much she dropped the class after going to the professor. He told her she had really pretty hair, asked her what sorority she was in, and had found out where she worked. Things like that. And then the bar manager in PA, where BK was before going to Washington, was warned about creepy and rude behavior towards female staff. Remember that one?
So is that a joint?
Okay, so then there's a couple
is it a
things
cigar?
that he said. Let's talk about these. So he was doing these late. Let's
is
talk
that a
about
joint?
these late in the evening office hours.
Or is it a cigar?
Patty, thank you so much. Mikey J is my kids act, getting that count to 100K. It's your kids account. Patty, thank you. Patty subscribed under her son's account so we can get up to 100K, guys. So this girl that he had been making comments to and that switched the her class, she actually had a panic attack when he was arrested. When she found out it was him, she had a panic attack and was freaking out. Scary stuff. So, okay, so let's talk about the nighttime office hours. So most people on campus would not be on campus that day, right? So the TA and the student might be alone in the building. If he holds his office hours after hours, and like if a student needs help, he's there at night when no one else is there. Sus. It might also require the TA and the student to walk across campus at night, given the parking situation at WSU. So is it appropriate for a TA to even hold his office hours at 10 o'clock at night? Maybe this is something that got him in trouble. I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese's Angie. I want to address what Cheryl T. said. Cheryl T. said, some autistic people do have the propensity for violence, as one of my patients was autistic and could get violent, but is not the norm. I personally do not see any sign of BK being autistic. I think that maybe if you have patients that have autism and get violent, there's probably other things going on with them. Because I don't think just your general autistic person has tendencies to get violent. Patty, welcome to the Secret Club. J.S. Justice, welcome. Gina F. says, creepy McCreeper, Sussburger. She might have been a potential target, says Soulmate. Yeah, 10 o'clock p.m. Like, if my daughter was asked by a TA to go to his office at 10 o'clock at night on campus, I'd be like, no. Don't you dare go there. Because no male TA should be holding office hours at night for female students. No male TA should be telling a girl her hair is pretty. No male TA should be asking what sorority she's a part of. No male TA should be seeking out where his students work. He's a creep burger. Jen Heath, welcome to the Secret Club. I mean, anybody has the potential to get violent if you have the right recipe, right? It depends. There's a lot of factors. There's a factor of how people are raised, what they're born into, what kind of parents they had, what their home life was like. All of this molds us who we are. And we don't know what Bryan Kohberger's upbringing was like.
Bryan Kohberger.
JD says, I'm getting an anxiety attack just hearing about it. Dr. Melmo says, I've never heard of a TA or a professor holding any office hours that late.
So is that a joint?
What's up, Prepa?
Or is it a cigar?
So yeah, if that was my daughter, I'd be like, no, you're not meeting a male TA on campus in his office at night when no one's there. Sia says, I wouldn't find it creepy if a man compliments my hair. It's just we now know what BK did. No. Teachers shouldn't be telling students anything's pretty or beautiful on them. Inappropriate. They're there to teach. It should all be professional and not personal at all. He had no business getting personal with that student, in my opinion. Bryan Kohberger, is their food any good? Prepper, I hear they have really good burgers, but I don't know. I'm not sure what they're made of. Yikes. Sally says, my mom said never trust a man who sniffs your hair. It was good advice. Yeah, you don't do that. And if you're like, if you want that from your professor, yikes. He should keep it professional always. Always. Scarlett, isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Sure. In a court of law, he absolutely is. He absolutely is. This isn't a court. This is a podcast. Right? Potato read my mind. Potato! All right. So it says here, someone's saying, quote, I can only hold office hours today at 10 p.m. Sounds like a creep chat. Diogi, what's up? That's like the key takeaways I took away from episode 4 on this podcast. And I just think it's super interesting to have these people talking to ABC for this podcast. But and he was closing the door too. So like late in the evening, he'd sometimes have office hours. The PH student started sticking around after students complained BK made them feel uncomfortable while meeting with him. He would often close the door against protocol, placing himself between the student and the exit. So you guys are going to want to watch that. Or listen to it, I'm sorry. Let me see if there's any other. Okay, here's a direct quote from the podcast that I saved. This is about him running down the stairs towards the bedroom in the basement. Because we heard when the SWAT team broke in that they were that he was sitting there putting his trash in separate bags. But in this podcast, it said, and this is a quote, my law enforcement sources tell me that at the time of the arrest, Kohberger was wearing gloves and they believed he'd been sorting trash. They arrested him as he was running down the stairs towards his bedroom in the basement. So I don't know like what he was going to do down there. I'm so curious. I would love to see the body cam from this, if they have it. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. TCP. So Cheryl T says, I am sorry, but even if BK wasn't accused of murder, he would still strike me as a person that I would avoid at all costs. Welcome, Diogi. Heathen74 says, I think all his creepy shiz is down there. Probably thought he could hide it. I wonder what was all in the basement. His room was down in that basement. Let's do a poll. I want to know if how you guys are feeling about if he committed other crimes. Because I'm still thinking he did. Do you think Bryan Kohberger committed other crimes? I mean, for all intents and purposes, we've heard that he made people creeped out, right?
Or is it a cigar?
But now I'm going to show you something that I found months ago, and I didn't share it because I just didn't want to put it out there then. But hold on, let me find it. So this is on Daily Mail, so it's out there. Let's go over to the boob tube and let's take a look at this article. All right, welcome to the boob tube, guys. Let's get this article up on the screen and we're going to go through it because he had a crush all through school. And this girl came out, and this might make a little bit of sense to you guys that have been following all this WSU Kim bullshit. Because I don't follow that. I don't follow that. I don't follow mothers who talk about body parts being cut off victims. I don't do that. What mother would say that? What mother would do that? I don't know, but let's read this because this is interesting and it names them. So it's not me. This is Daily Mail doxing these motherfuckers. Exclusive. Girls made fun of BK in middle school. Former cheerleader who rejected Bryan Kohberger's advances is interviewed by FBI. Hold on. I've got a phone call coming in. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Actually, I got to check on the little one. So, you guys, I'll be right back, and then we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this. Okay, thanks for bearing with me, you know. I don't know what her name is, and I don't really care about her, to be honest. I think she's a POS. You don't talk about that shit like that. Gross. All right, so it says here, former cheerleader who rejected Bryan Kohberger's advances in 6th grade is interviewed by FBI as classmates reveal how the chubby misfit was bullied and tortured by popular clique. Have you guys seen this? Have y'all seen this? Put a 1 in chat if you've seen this. Kim Kennelly, 27, was 6th grade classmates with Bryan Kohberger, 28. The pair attended Pleasant Valley Intermediate School in Brodheadsville, Pennsylvania. Her mother, Sandra, told DailyMail.com the accused killer had pined over Kennelly, often leaving her love notes. Other former classmates said Kohberger was bullied by popular girls, and one said, quote, the girls he's accused of killing were much like the ones that made fun of him throughout his childhood. FBI agents have interviewed Bryan Kohberger's middle school crush, who really looks like the girls, right? Y'all haven't seen this. This came out in January, guys. I've held on to this. This came out January the 12th. Isn't that funny? This came out January 12th, but everyone, all these creators are talking about some anonymous Kim person when we have all of the information right here in this article. Love you, Leslie. Thanks for being here. I mean, why are we talking about people who won't show their face and show their name when we have this information and it's been out there since January? But we're talking about anonymous voice changing and fucking Kim MSU or whatever the fuck her name is. I can't. Facts, people, facts. I mean, she's right here. Her mom talked to Daily Mail. Can you imagine? Is this girl even happy that her mom opened her big fat trap? Her mom went to the Daily Mail, not this girl. This girl was interviewed by the FBI, but her mom's big mouth went to the Daily Mail. Sounds a little familiar from the crap I've heard on YouTube, to be honest with you, but whatever. FBI agents have interviewed Bryan Kohberger's middle school crush in hopes of piecing together the psyche of the man they believe is responsible for the gruesome murders of 4 Idaho students. Kim Kennelly, 27, contacted the Bureau. She contacted the FBI after learning her former classmate had been arrested for allegedly knifing 4 housemates to death. The 2 were 6th grade students at Pleasant Valley Intermediate School in Brodheadsville, Pennsylvania, when Kohberger, 28, developed a crush and began romantically pursuing the girl, who would go on to be a high school cheerleader. Quote, she told the FBI whatever she could tell them, Kennelly's mother, Sandra, confirmed to Daily Mail. It was so long ago, I can't imagine what she had to tell the FBI. I guess it was for the character purpose. This is her mother. So her mother didn't even know what she said to the FBI, and she's talking to the Daily Mail. See this quote? It was so long ago, I can't imagine what she had to tell the FBI. I guess it was for the character purpose. Does she talk to her daughter, or is she just using her daughter to go to the Daily Mail and talk about this situation? That's very nice. I love how you did that. But do you know what I'm saying? I mean, the mom doesn't even know what she told the FBI, yet she's talking to the Daily Mail. I don't know. Sounds kind of like another similar narrative that I've heard on YouTube put out there anonymously over and over and over, giving some lady attention when we should be focusing on the victims and justice in this case. This is her now. They tracked her down. This is the crush now. And she's got Daily Mail on her ass because her mother talked to Daily Mail.
So is that a joint?
She now lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, where
Or is
she
it a
works
cigar?
as an occupational therapy assistant at an assisted living facility. Kohberger, then a chubby, awkward misfit, would become relentless in his pursuit, repeatedly leaving love letters in her locker and telling her he liked her, according to the mom. Look at this. This is another mom quote. He would always say, "Oh, Kim, you're very pretty." Just like weird comments. And she'd say, "Oh my God, leave me alone." Hey, Kami, thank you for your donation. This is a quote from her mom. "Oh, Kim, I think you're very pretty." She's an occupational therapy assistant. Yep. Here's more from the mom. She did not give him the time of day, the mom noted. When kids are little, they're mean. They don't say, "Oh my God, thank you, but no." Kennelly would eventually tell Kohberger to buzz off, breaking his heart. At the time, she lived in Scotia, a rural eastern Pennsylvania, 90 miles north of Philly and 30 miles from Kohberger's home in Albrightsville. She has since left the area and lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kohberger seemed to turn his life around in high school, where he took up boxing and lost weight. In a yearbook photo, Kohberger's caption said he aspired to be an Army Ranger. Previously overweight and bullied, he lost about 100 pounds and transformed into a totally different person. Maybe on the outside, but Creepburger remained Creepburger on the inside, I promise you. Details about the suspect's past are coming to light, including that he was a secluded person who used his criminology studies to try to understand humans and understand himself. Kohberger? Is Kohberger a spin-off Wahlburgers?
Bryan
Or is it a
Kohberger.
cigar?
Did I ask you what somebody I don't even know thinks?
Hey, Jetty W, welcome to the Seeker group. Yeah, it sounds a lot like this WSU Kim's narrative, doesn't it? And the daughter's name is Kim, but the mom's running her trap. Mom is Sandra. So if you want to freak her out, maybe call her Sandra sometime and maybe it'll get her to STFU. It wasn't even her that was like creeped out by Kohberger, and she's spilling all of this from her adult daughter. And now they know where her adult daughter lives. It's gross. It's just gross. I don't think it's desperate for content at all. I think this is news. The mother was obviously willing to give them the story. You can't blame You can't blame the Daily Mail. If some lady came to me with all this info and said, my daughter's talking to the FBI, you can bet your ass you'd report it. You know? But it's just messed up that this lady went to the Daily Mail against her, with her daughter talking to the FBI. Like, let the shit play out. It just screams to me of people who need this attention. Like, hey, I've got scoops. All right, we're not done yet. Kennelly's awkward schoolyard encounters with Kohberger are among several bizarre accounts to emerge from former friends and witnesses in recent days that paint the picture of a troubled, disgruntled young man who didn't fit in at school. Here is another classmate who didn't want to be identified, said the whole clique of popular girls made fun of him in school. They were the cheerleaders and the ones that every kid had crushes on. They literally tortured him. Girls started making fun of him in middle school. And then it says he turned his life around in high school. He was a totally different person. He worked out constantly and was super aggressive, said a male friend. He had a short fuse and was constantly trying to change his style and personality to fit in with the cliques. A third former classmate added, it's interesting to me that the girls he's accused of killing were nice looking and seemingly popular, much like the ones that made fun of him throughout his childhood. And then here's another picture of Kennelly, which was probably shared by her mother. I mean,
for donuts.
Look at all these photos. In an interview with DailyMail.com, Kennelly's mother recalled how Kohberger would often leave her daughter love notes in her locker before she finally rebuffed him for good. Leslie, thank you so much. Diana, I have no idea who Kim or Peyton are. I don't know, and I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, that lady can kick rocks. Because I think it's just shitty. Just Samantha. Jay, have you ever written anyone while they're in jail, a suspect in a case you cover? No, I have not. No, he was on heroin, remember? He was doing heroin. The kid did heroin. So here we mentioned Coffin Dagger. Coffin Dagger speculated that Kohberger could have seen all these beautiful girls go in and out of the house, and it's possible his rage and personal horrific desires had gotten the better of him. But now let's move on. Casey Farts, who attended high school with Kohberger, said he used to get her to drive around his home area in search of drugs. Her brother Thomas said Kohberger would try to bully others to distract from his own weight problem. Thomas Farts said he was mean-spirited. He was a bully. I never thought he would do something like that, but at the same time, it doesn't really surprise me. A woman named Haley posted a TikTok video saying she had been on a Tinder date with Kohberger about 7 years ago. After going to watch a movie, they went back to her dorm room and watched TV. Kohberger kept trying to touch her. Not like inappropriately, just trying to tickle and like rub my shoulders and stuff. She proceeded to ask him why he was touching her, which caused him to get super serious. I'm not, he then said. You are, though, she recalls retorting, saying that then Kohberger was attempted to gaslight me into thinking that he didn't touch me, which is weird. She clarified she did not feel in danger and wasn't scared of him, but did want him to leave after a time, which led her to pretend to throw up in the dorm hall's bathroom. She then claimed Kohberger followed her to the bathroom and stood outside the door, which she thought was weird. So she pretended to puke to get away from this mother. Are you kidding?
Yeah. So there's a lot of butt joints that we have to cover. And I'm like, Dudley, let's do butt joints together because I don't want to have to do them all by myself.
Let's take a look at the Tinder date. And let's talk to her. Let's see what she has to say. Talk to her.
The women. Well, one lady came forward and said she had a date with Bryan. Then
Hey, it's me, the girl that went on a Tinder date with Bryan. A lot of people have been trying to dox me, specifically on Reddit, but I never thought the comments that I made on Hobot News would make it to TikTok or Reddit or literally anything. But here we are. So I thought I would make this because a lot of people are just saying things that are not true at all. My interactions with Bryan were very brief. I don't know much about him. My total interactions with him were like 24 hours. We matched on Tinder. We talked for a couple hours, and then he was like, hey, you want to go to the movies with me tonight? And I was like, sure. So we went to the movies. Honestly, I don't even remember what movie we saw. We ended up going back to my dorm, and he kind of invited himself inside. I thought he was just going to drop me off, but that was not the case. He kind of invited himself inside, and I was just like, okay, I went along with it. So he wanted to watch another movie on Netflix, and I said, sure. He kept trying to touch me, not like inappropriately, just like trying to tickle me and like rub my shoulders and stuff. And I was like, why are you touching me, or what are you doing? And he would just like get super serious, and he's like, I'm not. And I'm like, you are though. And he's like, I'm not touching you. Kind of like trying to gaslight me into thinking that he didn't touch me, which is weird. But then I was like, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom quick. And he was like, okay. And then he followed me to the bathroom, which I thought was kind of weird. So like in the dorm there was like a shared bathroom. He didn't go in with me, but like he stood outside the door, and like I don't know, I just thought that was weird. And I was like, I need to get this dude to leave.
I'm gonna puke.
Like just not into it. So I proceeded to pretend to throw up to get him to leave. It wasn't because I was scared of him or like thought he would hurt me if I asked him to leave. It was just mostly because I'm socially awkward, didn't know how to ask him to leave. So that's what I did. He ended up messaging me on Tinder that he was gonna go, and I was like, awesome, my plan worked. And then about an hour later he texted me and said I had good birthing hips, so I never talked to him.
He told her she had good birthing hips. Like, I believe her. I believe the Tinder girl. I do. Do you guys believe her? I believe her. So on the left here is Casey Farts, and on the right is the Tinder date. Easy. So I don't think that she was creeped out at the movie, you guys. I don't think she needed to like run out of the movie theater. I don't think it was like that. I think he asked her to go to the movies and they went. And like when you're at the movie, you don't really talk. You're watching a movie. But then afterwards is what creeped her out. Afterwards is what creeped her out when they went back to the dorm. She didn't even think he was going to come in. Dude, this was Show the Message. That was like 7-8 years ago. This girl went on a Tinder date with him. You think she still has the messages? Hey, Carrie. Welcome. Yeah, I believe her too. I believe her too. I think he had no idea what to say to a woman. She did not let him in. She said he didn't know. She said that she didn't know he was going to stay, that she thought he was going to drop her off, and then he stuck around and he tried touching her. He tried touching her, tickling her, weird kind of just inappropriate. That's not how you hit on a woman. You don't tickle someone. He's weird. He doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know what to do. And when she accused him, like, hey, why are you touching me? He was like, I'm not. Because he didn't know what else to say. He didn't know what else to say. What's up, Daniel? I've never heard of that movie. Good birthing hips. That's weird. Daniel, when are we doing our live? We need to link up and talk about this. It's definitely from a movie. But Casey Farts came out first and said, hey, he was bullied in school. So the vomiting incident apparently put Kohberger off and he left, and Haley said she was glad she never saw him again. Certainly, Kim Kennelly's mother is happy the alleged murderer did not turn her daughter's head when they were both so young. Quote, all these girls he allegedly murdered were blonde too, Sandra noted. She is definitely creeped out, definitely. I think a lot of the kids that went to school with him are all like that, the mom continued. They can't believe that this kid could actually murder 4 people. And then that's it for this story. But, I mean, she looks eerily similar to the King Road girls. Junior high stuff that went into high school. But he changed his life around in high school. All right, let's see. I'm free most mornings. I will email you today. Awesome. Excited. I finally got my partnership back with YouTube, so now I'm monetized again. So, yay. This mom is wacko, says Dr. Mummel. It was 6th grade. Yeah, but why is she wacko? Because the daughter heard he was arrested, and the daughter went to the FBI to talk about his character. I mean, I think that's important. I think anything about him is important. No, but she would be blonde, and if she was popular, it's more about clicks at that age, When you're in middle school, it's not everybody that's popular is necessarily pretty, but it looks okay. You're gonna have to go now. I'm almost done. Go.
So is that a joint?
Mike Sanner is gifting. Oh my gosh,
Or is it a
5
cigar?
memberships.
So is that a joint?
How do you get hooked on H and get a
Or is it a
master's?
cigar?
He quit. He went to rehab, apparently. Quit doing drugs, and then
So is that a joint?
obviously obsessed on
Or is it a cigar?
other things. We don't know.
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
What movie is the birthing reference from? I don't
So is that
know.
a joint? Or is it a cigar?
Dark Shadows?
So is that a joint?
What is your age from Dark Shadows? Let's listen to this
Or is
clip.
it a cigar?
I've never heard of it.
What is your age, if I may?
15.
15 and no husband. You must put those birthing hips to good use at once, lest your womb shrivel up and die.
You're weird.
But do you think me too weird for a woman of this land?
You obviously mean Vicky.
She has the most fertile birthing hips I have ever laid eyes upon.
You're way too weird.
That's so weird. What? It sounds like that's what it's from. Here's a clip from the Nutty Professor as well, talking about...
Got them childbearing hips. Baby, pop right out. Go to Weezer. Pop, go to Weezer, because the Weezer say pop.
Wait, hold on. You got to see this clip. This is too funny. Hold on. Carrie, thank you so much for donating memberships. Watch this. This is from the Nutty Professor talking about childbearing hips.
Got those childbearing hips. Baby popped right out. Go to Weezer. Pop, go to Weezer, cause the Weezer say pop. That means it's good. That means it's good.
Oh man, you guys. So Dark Shadows, I guess, is the movie that's from, but that was the Nutty Professor. Elser, what are you talking about? Show what message? Yay, thank you for gifting Carrie and Mike Sanner. Welcome all the new members. This is bananas. I've always heard of birthing. I mean, that's a term people use, like, oh, she's got good birthing hips. But that just shows me how out of touch he is. I don't know about Elser. You're kind of getting on my nerves. Like, why are you grilling me? All right, let's stop our poll. We've got 75% of you. Wow. 75% of you think that Kohberger committed other crimes. 24% of you say no. So that means to me that 75% of you in this chat right now think that they have the right guy. Right? 75% of you think that they have the right guy. I'm so proud of you guys.
She said,
we came home, planted flowers
on the side of the house.
That's the first time you've ever heard of birthing hips? Oh, man, I've heard that. It's insulting.
So
like, if women are told they have good birthing hips, it's like...
Or is it a cigar?
Esther is blaming the victim.
So is that a joint?
Okay, Esther, or whatever your name is, behave. Tomorrow is the day for grilling, says Prepper 101.
So is that a joint?
Yeah, we don't blame victims here, Essler, so take your little time out, get yourself together, and come back and be a good human.
So is that a joint?
You guys, this is amazing.
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
J-Lord says, my vote was for more minor offenses. Elser? Heathen! What's up, Heathen? Ken Dalton, how are you? Your gyno told you had good birthing hips? Hey, this baby will just come right out. You're good. Hey, Bex. Joe looking ass. What's up, Joe looking ass? You guys have been so awesome this morning. We are at about an hour, so I'm going to end this, and I want to wish you guys a happy 4th of July. Be safe. Don't lose any fingers doing stupid fireworks and stuff. Don't do fireworks. Think about the dogs. My dogs hate these fireworks, but I just want to thank you guys for being here and celebrating with me. We're going to be doing more live streams, and I will be here tomorrow. We're going to talk about a set schedule like I had before YouTube screwed me in the butt. Now, welcome, Kami. Whoop, whoop. We've got so many new members.
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
I hope that a gyno wouldn't say that. I thought that was a joke. Yeah, so if you guys are replaying, let me know in the comment section what you think of this information. Let me know what you think of this information. And just FYI, we are on Don Wells' watch because I got word that Don Wells is on the cusp of possibly being arrested and that there is definite movement in Summer Wells' case. So we're going to keep an eye on that, and we're going to be talking about that as well. So we're following Summer Wells right now. We're following the Moscow, Idaho murders, and we're waiting for something to happen. We need to find Summer Wells. Happy 4th in the Berg, Jay from Clearwawa. Clear Wawa. Thanks to everyone who gifted memberships today. Have a safe and happy 4th. Hello, Heather Feather and Meep. Yeah, we need to have a schedule so that we know what to expect. I know some of you like the morning lives. Some of you guys like the evening lives. We're going to mix it up. We're going to do a little bit for everyone. And yes, barbecue and beer tomorrow, Paper Chaser. My neighbor's having a party. So we're going to be there. Oh my God, Lisa, that is disgusting. On that note, I'm out. We will talk soon. Dance it out. Enjoy your day. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. I'm so glad to be back. And check out the King Road Killings on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you can listen to a podcast. They're dropping some new information with every episode. I'll see you guys soon. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 I don't give a. I don't know. You wanna be with me.
I didn't want to see you again for the rest of my whole life. I didn't want to see anybody else.
Hold on a second.
Don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day. Strike the
Want one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.